Hi everyone! Imagine holding a simple silver coin, a coin that looks ordinary at first glance, but behind it are whispers, rumors, and wild collector stories claiming it could be worth $1 million. Yes, the 1955 Franklin half-dollar has fascinated collectors for decades, not just because of its silver content or historical importance, but because of the mystery surrounding its true value. Some collectors believe that rare versions are hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. Others claim special minting mistakes have turned a few examples into life-changing fortunes. But is any of this true? Could one small coin really be worth that much? Stay with me until the end, because before we uncover the truth behind the million-dollar rumors, we're going to explore every detail: the design, the history, the rare errors, the real market prices, and the surprising reality that most people never hear. Let's start with what you actually see when you hold the coin. The design is bold, dignified, and deeply meaningful. On the front appears the portrait of Benjamin Franklin, one of the most influential figures in American history, a thinker, inventor, diplomat, and founding father. Unlike many coins that feature presidents, this one honors a man known for wisdom and intellect. His portrait feels calm, steady, almost thoughtful, as if the coin itself carries a sense of quiet importance. Below Franklin's shoulder is the signature of the designer, John R. Sinek, who carefully sculpted the details that give the coin its distinctive look. The lettering is clean, the portrait is balanced, and the entire front has a classic mid-century American style that collectors instantly recognize. Turn the coin over, and you'll see one of the most iconic symbols of American independence, the Liberty Bell. This is not just a decorative image, it represents freedom, history, and national identity. The famous crack in the bell is clearly visible, making the design instantly recognizable to anyone familiar with American history. The real bell itself still stands in Philadelphia at the historic Liberty Bell, and its image on the coin connects everyday currency to powerful national symbolism. Next to the Liberty Bell is a small eagle, added to meet legal requirements that half-dollars must include an eagle somewhere in the design. The lettering around the reverse declares the coin's identity and nation with confidence. And perhaps most importantly, the coin is made of 90% silver. That alone gives it real intrinsic value, even before collectors consider rarity or condition. Now let's go back to the time when this coin was actually made. The Franklin half-dollar series was produced from 1948 through 1963 by the United States Mint, and the 1955 issue came specifically from the Philadelphia Mint. That is why the coin has no mint mark. Philadelphia coins of that time typically didn't include one. Production numbers matter a lot in coin collecting. The 1955 Franklin half-dollar had a relatively modest mintage compared to some other years, a little under 2.5 million coins released for circulation. That may sound like a lot, but in the world of coin collecting, it's not huge. Fewer coins often means more collector attention, especially when many were later lost, worn down, or melted for silver. In addition to regular circulation coins, special proof coins were produced for collectors. These proof versions were struck with extra care, using polished dies and specially prepared surfaces. They often have mirror-like backgrounds and sharper details, making them highly desirable among serious collectors. But here is where things start becoming truly fascinating, because the real value of any coin depends heavily on condition. Let's talk about actual dollar values, the real numbers collectors pay. If you have a heavily worn 1955 Franklin half-dollar, one that circulated for years in everyday use, it is usually worth about the value of its silver content. That typically falls around $12 to $20, depending on current silver prices. A coin that shows only light wear, may be used briefly but still sharp, may sell for $20 to $40. If the coin was never used in circulation and remains in mint condition, collectors may pay $50 to $150 depending on how clean and attractive it looks. Higher quality examples, those carefully preserved with strong detail and minimal marks, often sell between $200 and $600. But now we reach a major turning point in value. Something collectors pay extremely close attention to: full bell lines. On the Liberty Bell image, there are horizontal lines near the bottom. On many coins, these lines appear weak or broken because of how the metal flowed during striking. But when those lines are fully sharp and completely unbroken, the coin earns the special designation full bell lines, often abbreviated FBL. This small detail makes a huge difference. A 1955 Franklin half-dollar with full bell lines in excellent condition can sell for $3,000 to $8,000 or even more depending on grading. In extremely rare cases, coins graded among the finest known, auction results have climbed well above $10,000, sometimes approaching or exceeding $20,000. And that's just for perfectly struck standard coins. Now let's talk about mint errors, the unexpected accidents that sometimes create the most valuable coins of all. One of the most famous varieties is the Bugs Bunny Franklin. This happens when the coin dies clash together, creating marks near Franklin's mouth that look like buck teeth. It's a strange and humorous appearance that collectors absolutely love. Depending on condition, these coins can range from $100 to several $1,000s. Other possible errors include off-center strikes, double strikes, clipped edges, or unusual metal flow patterns. Minor errors might bring $50 to $300, while dramatic, visually striking errors can sell for hundreds or even several $1,000s, especially if they are rare and well preserved. Proof coins add another level of value. Standard 1955 proof coins typically sell between $50 and $300. Higher-grade proofs with strong cameo contrast, where the design appears frosted against a mirror background, may sell for $500 to $1,500 or more. Perfect or near-perfect proof coins can command even higher prices in specialized auctions. So when we step back and look at the full picture, the value range for the 1955 Franklin half-dollar becomes incredibly wide. At the low end, about $12. In typical collector condition, $50 to $600. High-grade coins, $1,000 or more. Full bell lines examples, $3,000 to $8,000 plus. Elite top-grade pieces, $10,000 to $20,000 or higher. Rare errors, sometimes thousands depending on rarity. And now, after hearing all of that, after seeing how dramatically value can climb, we finally face the biggest question of all. Is it really worth $1 million? Here is the honest, factual, evidence-based answer. No confirmed 1955 Franklin half-dollar has ever sold anywhere close to $1 million. Not in major auctions. Not in private sales. Not even the finest known specimens or rarest era coins have reached anything near that level. The $1 million claim is a myth, likely fueled by excitement, misunderstandings, and exaggerated stories passed from collector to collector. When people hear that a coin sold for $15,000 or $20,000, imagination sometimes stretches that into something far bigger. But the truth is still impressive. This coin can absolutely be valuable, sometimes extremely valuable, but not at the $1 million level. And honestly, that reality makes the coin even more interesting. Because its value isn't based on fantasy. It's based on real history, real silver, real rarity, and real collector demand. So if you own a 1955 Franklin half-dollar, take a close look at it. Check the condition. Examine the Liberty Bell lines carefully. Look for unusual marks or errors. Consider having it professionally graded. Because while it probably won't make you a millionaire, it could still be worth far more than you expect. And that is the true magic of coin collecting, not imaginary fortunes, but real hidden value waiting quietly in the palm of your hand.